I wanted to show you guys how to make these butterfly blocks. I just really love these. I had this really wild looking print that I've had for a while. I didn't know what to do with, and I just thought it would be a really pretty butterfly. For each butterfly block, I cut 4 3-inch squares, and then I finger press them. I just folded them in half, and I need 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. I needed 4 of these, which are 1 3/4, and I needed 2 of these, which are 4 3/8. And then your background, your butterfly wings, you need 2 4 1/4 by 5 1/4. No, sorry. You need 2 5 1/4 by 6 3/4, and these are 4 1/4 by 5 1/4. And then you need your little centerpiece, which is your little butterfly body. You need, this is 1 inch wide by 4 3/8, and then 1 inch wide by 3 inches, and this one is 1 inch wide and 4 1/8 inch wide. This half I've already done. You can draw a line. This is your sew line right here. This is your sewing line. You can draw a line with a ruler and a pencil, or you can just fold it over and finger press it if you want to, you know, just not be super precise, and if you're okay with that. And then you are going to, after you sew it, like you sew from corner to corner, you're going to cut this piece off. So you're going to end up with this. Okay. So I sewed a line with just a straight stitch from corner to corner, and I'm going to trim that off. And I'm going to save my pieces. And with all those pieces, I even saved the little crumbs, but this time I made a little tiny, well, it's not very, it was a quick job, but I needed a pin cushion. And inside this pin cushion, I put steel wool to sharpen my dull pins I had. And you can either take it and iron it if you want to be very precise, or you can just finger press it as you go. And I will iron this before I put the centerpiece together and put on here. The rest of the time I just finger pressed all of this because it goes really quick. I just really like how easy and fast it goes together. And when you place your squares, you know, make sure you go from corner to corner. I do not assembly line these because I will lose my place. So I just leave them all out until I finish assembling one entire butterfly before I move on to the next. And I just take my time doing these butterflies, and they still go together really quickly. When I did the corner, this corner, I have to make sure you cut off your piece before you sew on the next piece, because it does have a slight overlap here, which that's going to be covered up by your, when you put your sashing or your border or whatever you put, your little seam is going to butt right up next to that. In theory, it's going to butt up next to that butterfly wing. At this point, you also are going to have more overlap, so I want to go ahead and trim. Every time I put a corner piece on, I trim it and I finger press it. If you want to, you can go ahead and take it over to your ironing board and iron it if you want to, especially if you want your seams going a different direction, because usually you want your light going to the dark, but I'm just wanting to do it quick. So I've put my both pieces together and I press them, but they're a little uneven, so you could go ahead and sew this piece in here, but because it's such a small piece and I need it to be even, I'm going to go ahead and have a nice straight edge there for my middle piece. And because I tended to use scraps for this middle piece, it's actually a little bit longer. So I want to make sure I put my body, the black part, in the center of the butterfly. And then I'll just trim these edges off when I square up my square.